Hi, I'm Dana Middleton, your host for Momentum Monday today. I'm so glad to be here. Glad you're joining me on this Labor Day. So today we're talking about time to get picky about the company you keep. All right, if this resonates with you, listen, we're going to do some tapping today and we're going to talk about like who are you hanging out with? Who is in your friend group? What's the energy, the vibe in your family? And does it uplift you or does it bring you down? And it's really an important question and a good time to take stock of your relationship. So why don't you just do that today? It's a good day to take some stock of your relationships. Are they bringing you up or bringing you down? Now, I'm not saying you have to cut everybody loose. Because sometimes you might look around and be like, oh crap, everybody's complaining or everybody's a victim or everybody's doing this. I'm not saying you have to cut everybody loose, but I am saying, how do you want to feel? And do you want to keep commiserating like you might be with friends because you've just done that for a long time? Or, when a relative gets on the phone and they start complaining, sometimes we want to complain back just to match that energy. What happens just at the beginning before you change any friendships or any relationships? Just don't play in the same old way. Don't complain or don't match victim to victimhood situations, right? Like somebody complains about money and you'd be like, well, what about my situation? We get used to doing that kind of thing sometimes. And if you have relationships where that's where you've been going, I really want to suggest you rethink that, because what that is doing is it's just keeping you in a habitual habit of a lower vibration. And when we're in a lower vibration, we're just going to attract lower vibration stuff to us. And, at some point, it's like, what's the point of that? I mean, that just gets really old and it keeps us stuck. And we don't want to be stuck. We want to move forward, but we have to be the agents of change in our lives. We can't wait for the people around us to change. We have to change. And that could feel extremely uncomfortable because, we're so hardwired to stay part of the tribe. And if we do something that the tribe isn't doing or will make the tribe feel uncomfortable, that can feel very unfamiliar and therefore very unsafe. So that's what we're going to tap on today because, yeah, it can feel uncomfortable and weird. But the thing is so great about changing and maybe not engaging in the same way is when you engage a little higher, which can just start by not joining in with the complaining or not joining in with the commiserating. It's going to make things uncomfortable, but you can start to then say, yeah, but what if? You can reframe things. But yeah, what if this could be different? What if this could change? Hey, what if we could try to do some more high vibe stuff together, and just put different energy in that old relationship? Because either once you do that, one of two things is going to happen. One, well, I'll tell you the first thing is going to happen no matter what. It's going to get uncomfortable for a while. But after that, one of two things will happen. One, that person will either fall away and will just not be hanging out with you that much. They won't be choosing you so much. Or they will kind of come around and go, oh, okay, we can do this differently. And that may take a little time, but it's very possible. And it's extremely satisfying when that happens. So think about, the possibilities here, because we don't want to stay down in the mud. It's just not worth it. And you want to be the leader. I've talked about before being the leader of luck. Be the leader of a higher vibration. You can help lead the people around you. You don't necessarily need to tell them you're doing it, but just by you being the example, you can help others choose something a little different as well. And the reason we do that, like I say, is because it's going to pay off down the road in your life. I mean, it's not just about, well, it's going to feel better, number one, and you're going to have, this openness to allow more high vibe things coming your way. So I think it's highly worth it. If you do too, let's do a little tap together. And the tap today is going to be about this. Let's do an affirmation tap. We'll do just the regular affirmation tapping formula. We're going to do an affirmation about it's safe for me to be high vibe with my friends. because it might not be. So we want to clean out what's underneath that, reframe it, and then let this affirmation stick. So if you haven't tapped with me yet, just go along. We're going to do affirmation tapping today. It's a little bit different than how a lot of people do tapping. And let's just see how it feels to you. So first of all, take a moment to think about a friendship, a relationship, a family member who isn't the most high vibrational person, or at least you've got some patterns where you might be complaining or commiserating. Take a moment to picture that person. When we get more specific with tapping, it really helps. All right, so you got that in mind. Pause if you have to think about it. And let's just start doing some tapping. We'll use 2 fingers on each side of the hand. You can do one side of the face or both sides of the face. And just repeat after me and follow along. I will call out the tapping points this first round. So right on the eyebrow point. And just say, it's safe for me to change. Outside the eye. What if it could be safe for me to be high vibrational with this person? Under the eye. Choosing to say uplifting things. And then under the nose. Choosing to come to this relationship differently. On the chin. Because my high vibe is important to me. And then under the collarbone. And I am willing to choose better for myself. Into the middle of the chest. Which means I am choosing to act differently with some of my relationships. Under the arm. I'm choosing to bring the high vibe. And top of the head. I'm choosing to deliberately change. Okay, you might already be yawning. It's okay. That means you're moving energy. Now, something may have come up right now, like, oh, wait a minute, they're going to be weird about that, or some, we're going to tap out what we call the rebuttal now, which is the stuff that's coming up that may not feel safe. For instance, let's just keep going back around. Yeah, but they may not like that. They may not like that because, you can fill in the blank, but I'll do one here. They may not like that, yeah, because this is just what we do. We have such a pattern going. I'm going to be the odd man out if I don't join in. What if they don't want to be my friend anymore? What if I make this person uncomfortable? I'm scared I might get shamed or belittled for choosing something different. Maybe even made fun of. I don't feel like it's that safe to be different with this person or these people. What if I don't fit in anymore? Okay, take a breath. That's a big one. What if I don't fit in? We want to belong. So if you want to do more, if more stuff is coming up, just pause right now and keep tapping about the yeah, but, or this isn't safe because, and see how that goes for you. And then come back and we'll do the reframe. Now the reframe is, yeah, but what if? But what if? So we're going to say, but what if, yeah, I'm going to be the leader in a high vibe for my group. What if it will be uncomfortable, but discomfort that leads to positive change? What if my relationships really need this up level too? What if I can walk through this discomfort because it's important to me? It's important to me the way I feel. And I want to feel good with every person in my life. Yeah, it's scary, but good things are sometimes scary at first. What if this choice really starts to change everything for me and is so positive for me and everybody around me? So you see how we just let a little air in. We just kind of made it a little bit lighter with the reframe. Now let's go back to the affirmation and just say, I'm willing to believe it's safe for me to choose the high vibe version of me. Safe for me to engage differently. I'm willing to believe my friends, my family will come along. Or maybe some of them will go away and I'll find people who are better suited to me. Maybe either way is okay. I am willing to be picky with my relationships, but I don't need for them to change first. I'll change first. I'm willing to bring the good energy to every relationship in my life. And I'm willing to believe it'll be okay to make this profound and important change. Okay. Whew. Take a breath, take a stretch, whatever you need to do, take a yawn. How did that feel? It felt pretty good to me this morning. Sometimes we got to take stock. So maybe this is a good day to take a little stock. Again, I really want you to hear this other part. Don't expect them to change first. We're not just saying you're being negative. You know, it's it's your responsibility to bring a different energy to the table and not to judge anybody because we all do it sometimes. This is not about judging or telling somebody they're wrong. It's just about you making some changes. You don't need, like I said, you don't have to discuss it. Just make those changes and it will have a ripple effect. Nobody likes somebody wagging their finger at them. I mean, of course, we don't nobody likes that. I don't like that. You don't like that. So it's not that. It's really about being a good steward and deliberate steward of your own vibration and spreading that gently into the world. One other thing I'll mention is if somebody's on a real negative thing, like maybe on the phone, or phone's a good way you can do this, or because sometimes that's when these things will happen. If you're somebody who talks on the phone, you can always say, hey, somebody's at the door. You can always get away. You can always just remove yourself for a few minutes and interrupt the pattern of commiserating, complaining, whatever it might be. And that can be helpful too. Because once you get in that, sometimes it can be hard to get out. So give yourself permission to get out of it. And then that breaks that pattern. All right. Let me know how this goes for you. It's an important one. And like I said, we're going to be doing a lot more vibration work here at the Aligned Artist because, it's one thing to excavate all the bad feelings. It's another thing to be somebody who is catching your thoughts, really deliberately living in a, good feeling place. And so that's what we're going to be doing a lot more here. I'm really excited about it. Have a great week. Let me know how this went, and I will see you in 2 weeks right here. All right. Bye, guys.